Hello everyone, my name is Megan. I am going to be going over the cons of a menstrual disc just because I feel like we see all the pros, we see all the positive testimonials, we see all how this is an amazing product, but I didn't find that there's easily accessible information about the cons of this product. So that being said, I have been using a menstrual disc for 2 years now. So I do like it a lot. I do strongly recommend it and I do use it on a daily basis. I just wanted to get a more real talk out there for people who are looking for this information or looking into it and just can't seem to find okay, if this is so good, what's wrong with it type of thing. So this is what I'm going to be talking about. I'm not going to go over the how, what, when, because I assume you've seen that. And if you haven't, you can find it everywhere on the internet. So this particular brand is a soft disc. The only difference visibly with the flex disc is going to be the band. Soft disc is pink and flex disc has a black band. Now, whenever I first started seeing this product, I also saw the diagrams of how it fits inside the uterus and whatever else is in there. Or the vagina, or I don't know, wherever it goes in your body, whatever it sits in. I saw the diagram of that and the see-through body parts, so I was like, wow, that's cool. But I still found it really perplexing that our body basically just had this huge opening with nothing in it. And it's this opening, this circle, doesn't touch anything, doesn't affect anything, it just sits in there and nothing happens, which I thought was really weird. So after using it for quite some time, I've realized that's not entirely true. Obviously, this has to be touching things and disturbing just a little bit of our bodily functions just because we don't have giant open circles in us with nothing in them that doesn't affect anything. So that is actually my biggest con with this product, is that when you are wearing it, so let's say it's going on the line like this, it's actually leaning up against the, let's say, back tunnel that leads to your back door, if you know what I mean, and putting pressure on that tunnel. And so instead of the tunnel being like this, it puts pressure on it and kind of crushes it a little bit and kind of crushes that muscle a little bit as well, which gives you less control over that muscle. Meaning, if you have gas, which we tend to have a lot of when we're bloated because of our menstruation, it's going to be harder to control the opening and closing of that muscle, which could put you in very embarrassing situations. So that is going to be my number one con. I do get bloated a lot during my menstruation, especially during the first 2 to 3 days. And you're already feeling bad usually and bloated because you're on your period. You don't want to add to that the embarrassment of farting in front of your coworkers or your friends at a dinner party, or just because you laughed too hard or because you jumped too high. Or I'm going to try to spare you as many details as possible, but I just wanted to make it clear. So that is my number one con with this product. Number two is going to be that I do experience some discomfort still to this day after 2 years, whenever I remove it. So whenever inserting, you can pinch it really easily and then insert it, obviously, and it opens back up whenever you put it in, right? That's what we all see on the diagram. However, whenever you're taking it out, you can't insert 2 fingers and pinch, or at least I can't. And the way they tell you to take it out is by hooking your finger on it like this and pulling it out. Now, what is kind of obvious, but they didn't tell you, so it's not actually that obvious, is whenever you're hooking your finger on it, you can't pinch it. You're just hooking your finger on this huge circle already. So if this is the entrance is like this, and you're hooking your finger on it, it has to you're pulling it and forcibly squeezing it to go through. So actually the lining, it's kind of not comfortable. And I wouldn't say it's exactly pain. I think discomfort is the best word, and it's just kind of the moment that I a little bit dread. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to change it. I hope this goes quickly and get over it. So yeah, that's my con number 2. My con number 3 is going to be that it is still messy. It does get better with time. Don't get me wrong, the first times was a little bit like bloody murder, as they say, but it does get better with time, but it's still always going to be messy. Now, I do change it in the shower. However, you're supposed to change it every 12 hours, and I don't shower every 12 hours. So at least one of the times that I change a day, because it's twice a day, I'm going to be on a toilet. Just So it's messy. The biggest mess that I have, like I guess on my hands is not too bad, but it will get like on the front seat of that toilet. And then it's just like if I'm in a public space, then I don't really want to go and like wipe that toilet down. I also don't want to leave a mess. And yeah. So sorry. Like I said, this is very real talk. I'm just giving it to you real as it is. So yeah, that's definitely a third con that I guess it's not really like a something that mistakes like messes up within your body, but it just makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Um, so yeah. And then let's see, I had a fourth con. Right. So the fourth con is actually not a con. It was just a something to point out. So one of the advantages that they say that you get using the flex disc or soft disc is that you get less cramps. Now this is compared to tampon users, which actually you see in the really fine print. They don't really say it that clearly. But personally, I didn't use tampons on a regular basis before using the menstrual disc. I mainly used pads. And so I never really experienced, I guess, more cramping because of tampons. And so for that reason, whenever I switched over from pads to a disc, I did not feel any less cramps than I did before. So the disc definitely does not reduce your cramps unless you are getting cramps that are like caused by having chemicals in tampons or having something in your tampon. But I think if you're going from pads to disc and you're expecting to see a difference in your cramping, that is sadly not going to happen, most likely. But if it does for you, great, but it hasn't for me. The other thing, now this is something that I don't advise because the company doesn't, but this is so much more better for the environment just because it's so much less trash than a pad is or than like 3 tampons would be during the normal use of one of these discs. Now what I did is I went out and I bought some sterilizer that they sell for sex toys. So it's sterilizer that is safe to be inserted. And I actually wash this and sterilize it with this product. There are different brands. I just bought it online. Honestly, I bought it on Amazon. You can find it probably on a lot of different websites or stores or anyway, I bought this on Amazon, but it's a disinfectant for sex toys. So I wash this with soap and water like you would a Diva cup, and then I sterilize it with my spray just because we can't boil it. I mean, I haven't tried, but I would assume this thin little plastic would melt. So I do sterilize it with my spray and I reuse it. Now, I don't advise that. It's probably not medical, but I've been doing it for 2 years and I have had no side effects. And I do make sure it's really clean and sterile. And I wash my hands when inserting and all that stuff. So I figured if we can do that with sex toys, why not with this? That we're also putting in the same place, I guess, technically. So that is my biggest pro for this because it is so much better for the environment if I only use 1, 2, or 3 per period of this as opposed to how many pads I would be using. So that's it. I guess I've never made a YouTube video or reviewed anything or talked about anything. But if you guys have any questions or if you liked it or if you'd like me to do anything else, let me know and I'd be happy to do so. It's nice to see you.